Hello and welcome. This video is about something hidden, something you can't even see, but something that'll still, work well with the happy ghast. It's a flush trapdoor big enough to drive a ghast through. So let's just put my boots back on. And there's our trapdoor big enough to put our ghast through. But before I show you how to build that, I do have something important to say about triple piston extenders. So bear with me a minute and then I'll show you how to build the big door. So the nice thing about redstone is also one of the frustrating things. I'm still learning new things about it. Here we have a triple piston extender by Bloxy, and I'll put a link in the description. And it works quite well. We can open it with a stone button. It comes out to here. We can use a wooden button and it works perfectly fine both directions. And you'd think that'd be that. But put a repeater between your button and your source, and suddenly it stops working. So the lesson of the day is, when you're building something with triple piston extenders, and you're watching a video on how to do it, remember, you need to actually test whether your trigger mechanism, the way how you're turning it on and off, works with it. Doesn't mean the triple piston extender is broken, it just might not work with the way you've set up your signal. Fortunately, there's a very easy way to do something about it. If we can't extend the signal with a repeater, we can just use a piston and redstone block. As we can see, this will now make our buttons work with something that can extend our signal strength. Over here we have Bloxy's triple piston extender, but we've combined it with a bit of an extension expired from Dr. Plasma. It's not Dr. Plasma's exact design, but the mechanics are pretty similar. And we have it doing our, 3-piston long flush trapdoor extension. So this is a tolerable design, which means you can put one on both sides to get 6 width, and, well, you could get up to, say, 15 wide. So it's really a 15 by 6 flush trapdoor, really. And on this side, we're just using that piston and red block to sort of extend our pulse from over there. Do recommend doing this, simply because with the repeater, it just doesn't work. And we're just testing it, and we can see it works exactly as we hope. Lifts up flush. The trick really, and Dr. Plasma really didn't say this as much as he needed to, this block extends to cause that to go up, but when it retracts, it just pushes it out again as this comes back over the other way to stop it powering as it sucks in. So if you watch carefully, you can sort of see that it's out by the time it comes up, but when it tracks, watch those red blocks. They'll come in, but then they'll go the other way just as the pistons come in over the top of them. And that's the trick. If you're going to build this in your world, start with your surface and make sure you have 8 blocks in from where you want the edge of the door to be. 2 blocks down is just going to be surface blocks, because we're not going to build in here, and we're going to take those surface blocks and make them our door. From your 2, come down another 3 for the mechanism itself, and come in 2 as a notch. This is going to make it easier to build the mechanism as we put the components in. Come down another 3, and then all the rest of the way to where your door's going to end. These 2 blocks can be decorative, and we'll just leave them there while we build. Let's start with the bottom 3 layers first. We'll start by putting a note block up here, and an observer facing down. This is at the back, the door will be that way. We place a solid block, repeater on 2 ticks, watch that with an observer, into a solid block and another note block. From there we're going to have another observer and a sticky piston. Then we're also going to have a piston over here and another observer. Next, we're going to do the next layer up. So we want some redstone lamps this time. We'll just swap out the repeater. And we don't need the dust for a moment either. But I do think I need... Well, let's just see how we go with these blocks for the moment. So So we're going to put a lantern here and here, and an observer facing up, so that it powers the top lantern. And then we're going to have a target block here. I'm going to put some dust next to it. And we're going to watch that with another observer. Up here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, these would normally be our dirt blocks, so we can just put those in to simulate that. Then we're going to have our sticky pistons. 1, 2, 3. Some glazed terracotta. And finally, we're going to have one last piston here. Now, when you're testing this, it can be useful not to have that piston there, so I'll get back to that in a second. Just going to remove it now, but remember at the end of the design, I'll have to go back. We put in our solid redstone block here, and I'm just going to put in a temporary block here so that we can test this out. It's good to test it out because you're going to be connecting, as I said before, some sort of trigger mechanism, and you're going to want to make sure it works when your trigger that you're triggering for your door is attached. So we're not putting in the slime blocks or the honey blocks or that bottom piston yet. We get our button, and what we want to see is we want to see this here, one out from the wall, and this one short of the wall. So this means it's working. We'll press the button again to see everything retracts. When you do all of your slices, you'll want to do that test with whatever trigger mechanism you're doing before you put your slime in. Once you're happy it's working, you can get our slime or honey blocks. And we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We remember to put our last sticky piston in. And now we can test it again. And that's all there is to it. Just repeat that slice, alternating honey and slime blocks, so that, well, whenever the slime meets honey, it won't stick. If you've done any slime tech before, you'll understand what I mean. And that's basically it. Thank you for watching.